So, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining this morning to our exciting topic. I'm Garrett, I'm the event manager here at Cybus, and I'm happy to introduce you today to Benjamin. He is our partner manager here at Cybus, and he will present you an exciting topic. Let me first tell you that, of course, you have the possibility or the option, of course, to state your questions throughout the entire webinar. For this purpose, you have the chat option down below to your right, and feel free to write your questions throughout the topic, and we'll come back to this at the end of Benno's presentation. So, Benno, the stage is yours.
Yes, thank you, Garrett, for the introduction, and also welcome from my side. Good morning or good late morning for those who started earlier. I'm one of the partner managers here at Cybus, and I'm responsible for the onboarding and also the project phase of our partners, meaning outreach to partners, enablement, and also support our partners over the whole project phase. So I'm in close contact with consultancies, system integrators, technology partners. So I'm actually very close also to our customers, because obviously they are also the customers of our partners. And therefore, I'm also having a deep insight into the IoT market and architectures we develop with partners together with customers as well. This actually where I'm coming from here at Cybus, and I would like to present to you today the topic of the cloud-first contradiction, why manufacturing needs edge solutions. So what am I covering the next 20 to 30 minutes? Here's a small agenda. Why cloud-first contradiction, meaning, okay, what is cloud-first contradiction? Why cloud-first contradiction? That will be covered in the first part. And then how do cloud edge architectures look like? I will then dive a little bit deeper and zoom into how this architectures could look like. And the next topic is what do successful initiatives need? So how do we actually come to this point where we have like this success with this cloud first approach? And then in the end, I give you a little sum up, a little takeaway, and after that we will come to the Q&A session. So I would actually like to start with a little poll. Here's the question. I think, Garrett, you will now show the question and the answer. So that would be very nice if you could just quickly answer the question. Yes, I'm just waiting a bit. So we have 10 here. So I think should be nearly there, 14. Good. I think we can actually close the first question. And I think we see in the first question already yes, this is a central topic, 37%, and we are looking into that. It's 22%. So that's actually more than half of the participants already are looking into cloud first, which is also what we experience at our customers. So if we think about cloud, it's actually in our private life, it's pretty much common to use the cloud. We all have smartphones, we have apps. So, but not only in our personal life, it's actually quite common now. So in our working environment, we are using all the Microsoft suite. We are using Google in collaboration. So actually, everything also in our environment is changing into the cloud. So why cloud first contradiction? Let's have a look. I would like to start with a little quote from Christian Klein, who's the CEO of SAP, and he said actually many companies today have hybrid IT landscapes, but the trend is clearly going toward cloud. So when we think about SAP in the production environment, it's a pretty strong enterprise resource planning tool, which is pretty common, and therefore also for production and for manufacturing companies, for groups, they also need to kind of see how this cloud strategy, how they can actually apply it for their own manufacturing. As well, there's another one I would like to highlight, Gartner. This is a pretty recent one from mid of March. They said that by 2025, 5 times more organizations will deploy hyperscale cloud edge solutions within the next 2 years. So by 2025, which shows the real how cloud first actually is evolving over time and how it's evolving already in the IT and production environment. If we now have a look at the IT environment of production companies and how this is like going forward. On the left side, we see AWS, Microsoft, and Google, whereas AWS and Microsoft probably are in the production environment the most common ones, and they actually are providing the cloud infrastructure for many companies. And then we have SAP, Oracle, Salesforce. They are already working in the cloud. I mean, SAP, they have the DMC, which is coming up, which is kind of like a MES system, and also SaaS software is developed for the cloud, is moving into the cloud. And therefore as well, like this is a pull for, let's say, partners, and they are also consulting in the area of cloud and how companies actually can use the cloud, meaning cloud computing, cloud analytics, digital twin. So there are a lot of services provided, which they are consulting at the customers. And then we have Catena X, we have Gaia X, which is also initiatives. They heavily rely on the cloud, and they are actually using the cloud as well to make the supply chain more transparent and having a better overview about the whole supply chain. So actually, this shows that the shift in the last 5 to 10 years regarding the cloud is tremendous, and also the ecosystem is changing. And actually, I wanted to highlight like the benefits for manufacturing companies for cloud strategies. So I just wrote down the most popular ones, which first is definitely collaboration. So with the cloud, we have the opportunity to actually cross-functional and over different sites work together on different things with the tools provided by big hyperscalers, meaning Power BI, all the Microsoft suite, but also Google. They have tools for sharing the knowledge easier across the company, which boosts productivity. So also that makes data accessible for everyone, and it gives a point where the data is used, and also for decision makers, they can definitely have a better view on what is changing and then adapt to this changes more quickly. As well, if you think more into the direction of Gaia X, you have a better control over supply chain if you're collaborating also with your suppliers, which is definitely also a huge benefit for the cloud. Then global standards, so you can set global standards and manage these out of the cloud. So hyperscalers, you may use Microsoft or you'd use AWS. They actually provide tools where you can monitor, where you can manage DevOps pipelines and principles, and then bring it down actually also to the factories, and also collaborating with the local IT. Maybe you have a central IT and you want to collaborate more with the local IT. The cloud gives you the opportunity and the benefits of doing that. Then the next point, flexibility and scalability. If you think about all the applications which are developed already for the cloud, the whole technology is using cloud principles. You now can just containerize apps and then let it run in the cloud. This is basically a huge step for companies, because you are more flexible. You can maybe use an app and then decide, okay, it's not sufficient anymore for my company, and then you can actually remove it and maybe take another app, which is different than before. And also the scalability over and across companies is also like a huge benefit. Then the technology itself. So meaning the cloud technology actually pulls a lot of SaaS companies in the cloud, and actually because we have this cloud first strategies in place, or maybe also cloud only, the applications are designed for the cloud now. So the cloud is also a secure technology which we see because a lot of technology is moving to the cloud, and a lot of manufacturing companies actually going into this cloud environment. So if we see all this benefits from the cloud, this makes kind of it's nice to have this cloud, but on the other hand, we miss a very central point here. We miss the actual real factories and the shop floor. So this is a total different point here. The technologies used in the factories, they're not changing that fast as technologies in the cloud. So you cannot change your shop floor within a year, or you cannot develop a machine within a year. You have your old machines, you have new machines on the shop floor, you have different PLCs, you have AGVs, sensors, all not speaking the same protocol. And also the brownfield is changing regarding new machines and new technologies. So you have a variety of machines there. So the life cycle, let's say, also of a machine setup is designed for a longer time. So meaning in the automotive industry, you have cycles from 5 to 7 years, depending on the product cycle. So if you develop more variants in a shorter time, then sure, it will change again. But the change and over time is very much different from what is in the IT technology regarding the cloud. So it's also, when you think about the hardware which is installed, it has limitations, set capabilities. So you don't have, sometimes you don't have the technology to develop actually faster. So coming to the challenges now, we see there's definitely the first challenge, which is getting the connectivity. So extract your data and store it actually at one point. You have your shop floor, you have different machines, you have different PLCs, and you want them at one point to have it accessible as a data point. This is also a big point, because you need data quality and you need data quantity. So meaning you need the right data in the right amount at the right point. And this is just if you have an overview over your whole shop floor, and not like, let's say, fragmented pieces of the shop floor. And if you think about greenfield approaches, yes, greenfields are very nice. You can set blueprints up, but if you think about the next 5 years, like midterm, then the greenfield will also be a brownfield. There will be new technology you need to implement too. So you also need to be flexible on the shop floor regarding connectivity. And coming into flexibility and scalability again, definitely you need scalability in the factory and across factories. So if you actually scale one factory, which is hard enough, you have pilots, then you want to roll out, and this is also what we see at customers, that they have a pilot project, want to roll it out, and then it's like the rollout trap or the pilot purgatory, which then comes into place. So it needs to scale in the company and also then across companies. As well, if you think about scalability and you have maybe like just one vendor for your shop floor, or you have a big system, then you also can come in this vendor lock-in phase, where you actually try to come out and try to develop own projects on the shop floor, but because of the vendor, it's actually not possible. Then you have legacy systems which you also need to adapt to your strategy on the shop floor, which might not actually are possible to run in the cloud, or you maybe just don't want to have them in the cloud. The next point, very important, which we actually frequently also see at our customers, this like IT OT security. So yes, you want to have all your data, but you don't want to have all data in the cloud, or you don't need all data in the cloud. And then the next point is who gets access to the data on the shop floor. So you might have segmented networks where you want to also protect this data from going into the cloud, or you just need the data in your factory and you want to have it on the shop floor. This is also a point of data sovereignty, meaning like who owns the data. I don't want to go in this big topic, but if you have shop floor data, you definitely need to protect it also from the outside. And if you have the way into the cloud, that's the point, like who wants to secure that this data actually gets transferred, also secure. Then you might have data restrictions, which also prevent bringing data to the cloud. So like policies or laws. So you also need the data on the shop floor, and you're not allowed to actually share this data. So if we now see like the requirements of factories from this shop floor and from the cloud, they are like pretty different. You have huge benefits, but you also have huge challenges, which also leads me to the title. This is where we see the contradiction between cloud and edge. So a cloud first approach is not a cloud only approach. So we also need to take in the shop floor as a very, very, very important point here. I would like to start another question. I actually think, yes, we have the second question down here. Which statement applies most to you? I would like just to answer if that's possible for you. Okay, I think we can stop here and just share our results. So we solve connectivity through edge devices and gateways, 31%. We are thinking of deploying middleware as our infrastructure, 12%. So it's also like close to 50% in the first 2 points. So we have different strategies here. Also, some already think about deploying the middleware as an infrastructure, which is good. Everyone has a connectivity strategy, so no one is actually on the first point. So now, if we now go into this cloud edge strategies and think about the strategies, we also need to think about like how is our setup? How is the setup of our customers? Our customers actually don't have just one factory. They normally have multiple factories, which also in regards with the cloud need to communicate to the cloud in a secure way, and they also want to roll out over factories. So having this data transfer and then bi-directional into the cloud is also definitely a big requirement here. So what we now need is establishing a scalable and secure rollout over factories and setting global standards with local individuality in the factories. Meaning you have a data infrastructure on your shop floor where you develop connectivity, where you have pre-processing, and then actually get this data you just want from your shop floor to the cloud. So, and this is actually the challenge, is getting this last mile, meaning from the cloud all around down into the shop floor, and then getting the data actually from the shop floor in the cloud. And this by a global governance, by security. I now would like to zoom into these factories and actually this factory setups. If you, you might have like a shop floor network with your different machines, with old machines, new machines, sensors, AGVs, some transportation systems around. Then you have your production network, which is ERP, MES. If it's on premise, then it's down here. It might already get transferred to the cloud. Then we have the cloud here. It's Microsoft Azure. Then you have probably a data lake. You have applications running here in the application layer. And then you have in the management plane, you have here the Git or any DevOps tools you can use with Microsoft. And here the connectware comes into place and actually states and goes into the middle. What is actually the USP of the connectware is infrastructure as code. So everything is based on code. It's YAML files. We call them service commissioning files, which actually get deployed in the connectware on premise. You can automate it via, here's one tool, it's Git. You can apply DevOps principles. We call it industrial DevOps, where you store your service commissioning files in your Git repository, and then actually via automation tools like Ansible, you can bring it down to the shop floor. What is also possible here, we actually can also run on Kubernetes. So we have a scalable, clusterable broker. And with Microsoft Azure actually releasing AKS Essentials, we have the Azure Arc, which with the Azure Arc plane, which you see on the right side, you can manage your Kubernetes cluster on premise and let the connectware actually run on this cluster and manage it out of the cloud, because you have the infrastructure as code approach here. Then another architecture we have here, it's AWS. You also have down here your shop floor network. You have your production network, as well the connectware in the middle, and then on top you have all the services which AWS provides in the cloud. And also you see you have the management plane with the GitHub here. It's also definitely possible to manage the connectware out of the GitHub here. So this is basically the architectures we also develop together with customers and partners. And now, like, if we think about how can we actually come to this point and have this successful initiatives we already had in the past, then there's definitely, you need like a roadmap. So we need to approach how to come to this point. We, with partners or directly, we first assess your data infrastructure, we analyze the stakeholder pains, and then we start with the identification of the use cases, which are normally like the first use cases, low-hanging fruits, and start lean, and then go broad. So roll it out within the factory, and also start to get into other factories. So share the knowledge already, get other factories on your side, let's say, and share the knowledge as early as possible, and then getting first the shop floor transparency and the first use cases, so you also get a fast ROI. And then after that, in the go deep phase, you can develop actually more use cases. You can, on this Cybus connectware, you can develop your use cases on the right. So like process mining, you have predictive analytics, track and trace, traceability, quality use cases, which you can also then in the go deep phase develop and share it also with other companies or manufacturing sites. Now in this phase, so we also, when we talk with customers, it's not just like the IT, or it's not just just like the OT who's in this whole project, and it's also the use case owner. So we have like this 3 personas which all need to come together. So we need to have an approach which ensures that everyone knows what is actually going on, and everyone is in the same project and can also share the knowledge. They have some have the knowledge in the OT, so they need to have a different machine connected. They need to have a protocol. They know maybe a use case. Then you have the IT who needs to govern all the activities, having the data models, the MQTT topic tree, and also the user management, which I said earlier is very important also at our customers, to who is actually assessing the data which is coming from the shop floor. And then on the other hand, you have a demand. This is the use case owner. It might be from controlling, who just needs data from different lines or different machines. And they also give in their input. So you have a whole a holistic view on the data in the different departments, which gives you the opportunity to also get all stakeholders on board. If we now think about like how we did it, where we did it, at an automotive customer, we combined IT and OT with the scalable and flexible data infrastructure. So you have seen this architectures, and this is an architecture which is also on the left side, where we can see how a customer actually implemented this cloud-first approach with Connectware in the middle, and having actually combining both worlds of cloud and then shop floor to have a successful successful story here. So it was deployment during the running production, more than 20 use cases and 5,000 connected assets in 1 year, and with 3 power users. So this is also coming, the power users. This is also a concept center of excellence. So you have a team which is actually consisting of the personas I showed on the slide before. And then performance in critical or production critical environment. If you think about automotive, you have a lot of data which is coming from the shop floor to the cloud, which needs to be managed. So there's also a Kubernetes deployment in place. And then you have this clear OT/IT process for your digital initiative, so you can manage out of the Git repository. You can collaborate on the Git repository with OT, with IT, but you can set this global standards out of the cloud, and then actually have the local individuality of within your factories. So finishing with this success story of a customer, I would actually go over to the takeaways and just highlight a few points, which you saw in the presentation, and which maybe you can also take away. So this is the first one is cloud first, but not only strategies that have a huge benefit. I showed the benefits. Combining edge and cloud secures data-centric decisions. Start with the roadmap and identify first use cases. Set a scalable blueprint for company rollouts. So start lean and then go broad. Involvement of all stakeholders is key to success. It's also what I showed 2 slides before. You need all stakeholders from shop floor to top floor to make it a successful initiative. With the last slide, I would thank you for participating today. And my name is Benjamin. I'm here the partner manager. You can reach out to me or to us via LinkedIn, via email. We are happy to discuss this topic also on a technical point of view. If you want to go more in detail, we are ready and happy to help you here. And I think now we are going over to the Q&A session. So I think Garrett is taking over again. Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you, Benjamin, for this very wonderful insight. So again, you have the possibility now, if you have any questions, to write them down in this small chat box, or you can, of course, send your questions directly to Benjamin and reach out to him. In the meanwhile, I would like also to point out that we are on site for you at the HMI. I just shared our link. So if you are by any chance or happen to be at the Hanover Fair this year, mid of April, we will also be there in Hall 15. That's the digital ecosystem with our booth number D58. So we do still have free tickets available. So also if you do still need a ticket, please go to our website and apply for a ticket. We're happy to help you out here. So let's see if there are any questions. We do have some questions that came in prior to our webinar, since we do have some people that could not attend. Let me just quickly check. So I think you have mentioned this, Benjamin, but is it possible to run Connector on Kubernetes? And do we have already partners for this?
Yes, very good question. I actually pointed out the last the success story of a customer, and there we actually deployed Kubernetes also in collaboration with partners. So we have partners for that. If you want to run on Kubernetes, we can definitely do this with our partners and have the expertise there.
Thank you. And another question was, we heard it already in the in your presentation. Just for a short moment, can you elaborate on the DevOps principles?
Yes, so I already said that the connector is actually infrastructure as code, which is text-based and in YAML files. And this actually gives us the opportunity to, out of this GitOps or this Git repositories, deploy changes in this DevOps cycle to the factory. So meaning we first push this service commissioning file out of the Git repository. We push it to a staging system, so test system, and there we actually test the first if this is running smoothly, and then we actually give it into production. So we're not just pushing it directly into production. This is also regarding the production criticality of the middleware setup. This is a big point for us and also for our customers, so they can definitely implement it in their DevOps cycles and DevOps principles they already have in place there.
Okay. I see no more questions here in the chat box. That means we're done for today. We hope to see you out on the... Oh, I see here one question comes in. So, which protocols are supported by your product? Can we elaborate on this maybe?
Yes, we definitely can. Actually, we have a protocol list at our website, so you're happy to just type in maybe Cybus and protocols. There you will find all protocols, and we also have the possibility to, with SDK, so custom connectors, build a custom connector if the protocol which you may have on the shop floor from a machine which whatever it is maybe different from what we have. So we are also possible to customize the connector for that. But we have a basic a basic list of protocols on our website.
Oh, I see no question coming in. Oh, there is. Oh, Lara is sharing our protocol site for you.
Thank you, Lara.
Listening. Yeah, it's listed under connectivity portfolio, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, you still have the chance, of course, to reach out to us after this and on site, in person, live at the Hanover Fair. We're happy to see you there. And we'll say goodbye for today and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.